Alright, so for today I'm going to be using a feather, the Artist Club series SS non-folding. This will be my first time using it. Just going to install the normal feather professional blade, which is what they call their standard blade. It has, I believe it said, like 1 millimeter of blade edge that shows after you install it. Before that, I got finishing up just softening up the whiskers with some Dr. Bronner's peppermint, and then I'm going to go ahead and bowl lather today. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Just rinsed my face, got the soap off, and this is the blade I'll be using. And what it is it's kind of like a pinch and push system. There we go. So what you do is you bring it behind the blade, and then it locks and it pushes the blade out. Now, when you get the blade out, what you want to do is squeeze it and slide it in. So you pinch it here and it goes in, you release it. Now, I'm guessing that with the blade inside, that the 1 millimeter sticking out is going to be above this part here. Just above that. Feels great, has a great balance to it. Balance point is just about right there. So it feels nice, has a good weight to it. From reading about the product, this rubberish engineered rubber plastic can withstand up to like 275 degrees Fahrenheit or something like that. And part of the instructions in the manual say that you can boil it to disinfect it. So that in itself is quite interesting, that it can take those extreme temperatures. The feel of this here feels very similar to the coating that's on the Weber Arc razor, the grayish one that Weber used to make for the DE safety razor head. So that's what it feels like to me. Others have commented it's the same type of coating that will be found on handguns and such. Alright. So bringing it back. The blade's coming out. Excellent. Now I'm looking at it so I could see where the edge was, so just be careful as it's coming out that when you do go to grab it, that you're grabbing it not by the sharp edge. Now this is my first time handling one of these blades. I'm going to set this down real quick. So it's thicker than a DE blade. Maybe about as thick as a Schick injector type blade. Now, normally with when you do a test with your razors to see how they're doing when you hone them yourself, you see how they pop hairs. I'm just doing this to kind of know for myself just how sharp we're dealing with here. People call them scary sharp, and I could feel it popping them. I don't know if you could see in the camera, but that is a thin blade. Alright. Now to load it up, I'm going to pinch it and slide it in. this way and slide it in. Check for blade gap and see if we got an even edge. That looks pretty even to me. And putting it in the way that I just did seems to work well, to kind of let gravity take it down inside there as you're sliding it in. It does say to let it out, which I'll do it at the end of the shave, but to drop it, you would just pinch and it drops out. I'll use a washcloth when I'm catching it later. People have commented that this blade will last up to 10 shaves, so that's, you know, a great alternative. Even still, the razor cost a lot, but the blades themselves still cheaper over any cartridge style system. Okay, for the soap, Songwin Eric has a new product that he just released on the 15th of March, and this is Dapper Dragon Soaps. This one is one of the signature scents, Ice Worm, and it has a great peppermint smell to it. I have a puck, which I had some water on just to help soften up the top a little bit, get it a little gooey. I'll put it in this container. It smells good. I used the signature scent itself, Dapper Dragon, the other day, and it was awesome. It had a barbershop, it's described as a barbershop scent. To me it smelled maybe a hint of citrus in it, a little bit of sweetness that you could smell in it, and still masculine, not an overwhelming scent. And this one isn't either. I can smell the mint that's in the Ice Worm, but it's not anything like powerful. It just smells really nice. So this will be my first time using this version of his soap. Should be made the same way, whatever his process is, minus whatever scents that he's putting in, I'm pretty sure. The brush I'll be using will be the Semogue 820, which is a boar brush with this beautiful acrylic handle. These acrylic handles that Semogue puts out, to me, are some of the finest production handles. So I'm going to load the brush. I like to squeeze the nut on these boars, and I'm going to load up. So that was about 10 seconds worth. And put a little bit more water on the puck. Some guys like doing it on the tips for a puck. I just like to put it right on the puck. And this is what the puck's looking like as I'm getting it. It's just some of the excess water, that's fine to come out, because it's just going to come back a little bit more on the top. Another 10 seconds. Okay. Grab some of this creaminess that goes around it. Get that out. I like to have that in there. I'm in a bowl lather, so I'll be using my bowl. Just pouring out the water, so just moisture at the bottom. Gonna scoop my finger in, get out some of this creamy goodness that's floating around the side of the puck. And I'll just wipe it on the edge of the bowl. There we go. That's pretty good. grab the top, get that creaminess, take it to the bottom. Here we go. Some water. Normally I wouldn't put so many variables in if I really wanted a good shave, but because I have products that I kind of wanted to talk about and journal here on this video, I'm going to just do them all at once. I've been using this brush for over a week now, and to me they break in nicely. The knot to me is, well, it's definitely smaller than the Semogue 2000 series that I have. But smaller loft size, I think it's still pretty close on knot. The 2000 might be a 24 millimeter knot and this might be a 23. Can't remember the specs. But to me, the smaller loft, because this 2000 I think has like over a 60 millimeter loft height, and this one is around a 55, I believe, loft height. I want to make sure I'm hydrated, so I'm just going to put a little bit more water there. Be a good test just to see how well it does, because this will be the first time I'm using one of the Dapper Dragon soaps for a straight shave. My other shaves with it have been with a safety razor, double edge. Alright, so there should be plenty to go in there, nice peaks. So I'm just going to wet my face and away we go. I've seen Thomas from Denmark use the, I believe it was the RG model, which is, I think that one was brass of the non-folding feather. One nice thing about this is you don't have to worry so much about the water on it. Alright. Normally I'm not disappointed because I know what type of smells I like. And when I see a smell described, I think about how delicious it would be to probably eat. Or how it would smell walking through a garden. Or maybe even something that was pleasant that I recall from my childhood. As you can tell, nice, very nice. Look at that. Okay, put this goodness back on there. Just a little bit more water. my traditionals. Paints, painting strokes, just to lift against the growth. Alright, looks pretty well covered. Good brush. Again, there's the lather, so there should be plenty. Cleared my lips a little bit. Alright. Heat the razor just a little bit in this warm water. And let's see. Again, this is supposed to be sharp, so I'm going to start real light. Don't know if you can see the whiskers floating around in there or not. They're in there. It's probably about 4 days growth. Just from my own observation, I believe this is just about 2 1/4 inches. One of the nice things is since the blade doesn't go all the way to the edge, you get kind of a little, if you're there, you know, like if you're up against something on your ear, you know that you're close, but you shouldn't slice it as long as you're being careful. Looks like we probably had maybe an ingrown hair here. Again, I'm trying not to get too cocky with this because I don't want to get off my wall. Bogus sometimes. Don't want to slice myself. So far it has a really, I don't find it harsh. Of course, I'm purposely trying not to be aggressive with the angle of attack, not being too into it. Set that down carefully. Lightly rinse my face. Okay, so trying to still leave a good slickness on there from the first lathering, but still trying to get some of the whisker residue off. And let's see, give this a couple swirls just to get the goodness ready. So as you can tell, you can still take it pretty much across there. I gotta say, this is a really good blade length and to me offers really good control. I'm liking this. So far, nothing that's making me regret getting this. If anything, why didn't I get one sooner? And really, that's probably more to do with how much a brand new one costs. I got this one off the BST. Good gentleman, Tim, over this one was from Badger and Blades BST. Gotta say already, now experiencing traditional straights and the shook injector that Mike let me borrow a while back in one of my other videos. Have both assisted me with being careful, but I'm achieving a better first time shave with this than I did the first time with the traditional straight. Now granted, that was the first time I used a straight. I'm not sure just how close I should want to get on this without causing undue. Now it looks like I irritated a little here, but I didn't feel it, but it is a little red. Meaning I didn't feel anything that told me, hey, watch out there. Out of habit, gonna dry my hands. More so than I would do with a safety or a safety. Mimicking what I would, what I would still continue to do with a traditional straight. Even though this handle doesn't feel slippery to me at all. Okay, so now this way. Okay, now that's all I'm going to do. And normally I wouldn't go beyond those passes with the straight either. Not being aggressive. Skin feels not damaged to me. Soap works well. Great slickness to it. Again, this is what was left of the Dapper Dragon inside of here. This is what's hiding in the brush that was left. So that load time I did at the beginning seems to be about right to the last 3 passes. And still have some left over to do touch-up. I won't be doing touch-up today. This is a new razor, just getting used to it, but I can tell you that the shave still feels great. As close as I get generally across most of my face with a traditional straight, and that's due to the blade sharpness in this Feather Artist Club SS Series non-folding. A great product for those that have been waiting to try one. If you know someone that can lend one to you, ask them for it. You know, depending on how attached someone is to theirs. If you find one on a BST, you'll probably want to look at packages on BST with blades and stuff like that. Around the $100 range, sometimes a little less. And I don't think you'll be disappointed if you wanted just an intro to using one, especially if you've used traditional straights and you want something that feels like it has a good balance. To me, it feels great right at that point, and you have plenty of control to use it across and wherever you want to do it. The Dapper Dragon Ice Worm, Semogue 820 boar brush. Thanks for watching. One last thing. I wanted to show how to drop the blade out. Alright. Washcloth. Open it up. And it says it's supposed to just... There we go. Just a little bit of shake. Carefully. Right over the washcloth.